Hear ye, gather round for another edition of Young Kings Wrestling, not featuring the Sovereign Sideboard this week. I'll get to that in a second. As always, you can find us on most platform streaming podcasts, including Spotify, iTunes, YouTube, Google Podcasts, and iHeartRadio, among others. Also, if you're listening on iTunes, leave us a 5-star review. Links to all platforms and merch are available at ykwrestling.com. Hope I did that pretty good justice. I am your host, the show-off Reek Ziegler, keeping with the my mandate for a new name every week. TC is out this week, as well as Savi, so I'm holding it down this week. But naturally, I found a more than suitable replacement because, ladies and gentlemen, Young Kings Wrestling is proud to present to you the Shaman of Shilit, the hardest working women in wrestling podcasts today, and the sun around which all wrestling podcasts must orbit, the emancipated Miss Katie Kinsey, baby.
You did great. You're doing fantastic.
Thank you. I like to think I am. I like to think I'm doing all right, you know. But how you been? I know it's a busy week. Every week is a busy week because you do like 50,000 shows, but you know.
Okay, not 50,000. I only did 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the 5th.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
Yeah, not that far off, but it's okay. It's okay.
Well, I mean, in my defense, 2 of them won't see the light of day for at least 2 weeks to a month. So.
Well, that's fair. So, of course, you know, we watch wrestling all week long. And outside of the usual weekly programming, what else you been watching this week?
What I need to watch, I was going to... I might later. We'll see. Unforgiven 2002. Specifically, Apron Bump asked me to be on, and so I have to catch that. I'm so happy he finally gave me a WWE show, and not something I haven't heard of or have never seen.
Yeah.
So I do need to watch that. I looked at the card out of curiosity, and it seems like a good card. I've probably seen the pay-per-view, but I have the memory of a fish, so I don't fucking remember anything. But other than that, no, I haven't.
Yeah, I think I watched Unforgiven last year when I was watching back 02. There's a pretty dope Brock Lesnar and Undertaker match on there, and
Okay.
Triple H and RVD. I'm trying to think. It wasn't like crazy good, but it was decent.
Okay.
I gotta finish up those A&E docs because I watched Takers and Goldberg so far, and then I'm like starting the Bella Twins one because those look pretty good.
The Bella's is really good. I did watch theirs.
Yeah. I mean, I came around recently because, you know, truth be told, we all got to give them a little more credit for the influx of the talent that's come in because of them. Because I mean, at the time period where women weren't getting the right spotlight in wrestling, it's like they were there and holding it down, and now we see a lot of great results coming out of it in the present day. Like I think probably the biggest example you could have is Bianca. Bianca was one of those people that saw the Bellas and got involved, and now you see where she's at right now. So it's good. It's great.
Yeah, Bellas definitely don't deserve all the shit they get.
No.
But it's people hating on women, specifically women wrestlers, so I can't really be surprised.
Nah. At this day and age, if you're still hating on the Bellas, you gotta get your life together. Pipe in some bitches. I don't know what to tell you. So let me get into a little bit of news. I don't have a lot, just a couple things. First and foremost, the injury reel is coming around pretty quick. Obviously, we know Becky had a separated shoulder, which I kind of peeped in the SummerSlam match. She was favoring the shoulder a little bit. I wasn't sure if
Hmm.
she was selling or not, but now we got that answer. But also, more recently, Carmella and Tatum Paxley are both hurt. Carmella had some kind of head injury. It's the video starting to circulate now around Twitter. I don't
Hmm.
see what it was that happened, but
It,
that
I've seen the video like a few times. It just looks like Bianca was like getting like bending down to like backflip, and I
yeah,
think Carmella literally just like hit her ass.
yeah. I'm not sure what it was that happened. We know Corey was big mad because he's talking about he found out his wife was hurt over Twitter. Like I don't know what to tell you, Pam. Like your wife don't
Yeah,
have a phone. Like
yeah, he was big pissed and then deleted the tweet 2 minutes later. So
yeah, no, somebody got to put hands on him for talking greasy these days. And yeah, Tatum Paxley got a broken nose at a live event. So yeah, it's rough.
okay. Her tweet makes a little more sense now because I literally just saw her tweet saying something about she's okay, blood makes her like hardcore or something, and I was like, what the fuck happened?
Yeah, yeah, she took a pretty bad shot according to what I read.
Jeez.
Um, Also, it's pretty much set in stone. They haven't announced it, but Sasha and Naomi, they on the way back, and that's gonna something I'll get into in a little bit later on. But according to what's going around nowadays is that uh, with Triple H now running the show and Steph, they are making an olive branch to get them back in the game. So we should be seeing them soon, especially considering what's coming up starting tomorrow night, which hopefully we do this properly this time. Um, and also, Fredo Heyman is out here offering title matches to the Great One. He did an interview a couple days ago, and of course, the subject of The Rock came up, and he said, "Hey, listen, if The Rock wants to take a beat down to the Tribal Chief, we more than welcome this because we know that it's box office, and we will put the championship on the line at any point in time on the biggest stage against The Rock." So, I mean, at this point, we can pretty much book it.
Yeah,
It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when.
it's gotta be Mania.
Oh yeah, yeah. You can't do it nowhere else.
Yeah, especially because what Mania this year's and or this upcoming year's Hollywood, right?
Mm-hmm.
That easy. It's gonna be that.
Yeah, you got to do that. Ain't no question. Like Rock can take a couple weeks off from doing 50 movies. He'll be all right. He ain't
Yeah,
hurting.
he's fine. He'll be all right.
Uh, who's not? Well, I was gonna say who's not all right, but who is all right? Shockingly, survived last weekend was Mr. Richard Fleer, who I was fully preparing to cite his obituary today. I was legit. I was typing something up that I was going to put on here when I came on, but I'd stop it. He survived, and it wasn't even so much the match. He survived the after party, and it was terrible to watch though. It was god awful. Like that. Anytime he was in the ring, I wasn't watching. I was more paying attention to Andrade and Jay Lethal when they were wrestling, or even Andrade and what's his face,
Jeff Jarrett.
Jarrett. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, Rick was not looking good. I don't need to ever see something like this again. This was piss poor. Like I think
I
how do you attempt to kill yourself and fail? I need answers to that question because
oh
that's
my God.
I feel strongly that this was an attempt at suicide, but he clearly didn't hit the mark.
Well, seeing as how he couldn't even sit up during the figure four, that's all that you need to know. And I saw him tweet something that him and Andrade are gonna do another tag match. No,
Down bad, man.
stop.
Down bad. Down atrocious.
Yeah, it, yeah, that's definitely the correct word. Because what the fuck, Flair?
Yeah, man. I mean, from the time he came out, the entrance, the way he was walking, I'm like, I don't like this. I don't like this at all. Like, you got to wrestle in a t-shirt, bro. This is This is not looking good anywhere. And then you can't even throw a chop anymore. You want to bleed. You got
That's the thing that got me. This motherfucker's 80 something and is
close to it.
wanting to bleed in his match. Sir, gotta go.
Yeah, man. Yeah, he's deep in the 70s. Like that's not something you ever want to do. And then
No.
and it's like I knew this was coming because as soon as like he got out there, you could see it's like this ain't gonna be it. This ain't gonna be the end of it. And we're not even a week removed from it, and he already talking about doing something again. So
I
uh,
hate him.
let's hope somebody gets him to see sense and just be a manager for that match.
He's gonna die in the ring if he does it again. If he didn't this time, he will.
I don't know. Maybe Satan don't want him. Anyway, um, Triple H is in full control of the shows now, and this week he just put his foot on the gas and took it away. I mean, from Raw all the way on through to SmackDown, we're seeing a completely revamped type of show. I mean, we got straight wrestling for 3 hours on Raw,
Yep.
2 hours on SmackDown. No BS segments, no 24/7 title stuff at all. No Miz TV. Just great matches from start to finish. Had a number one contender, couple of number one contenders matches for the U.S. title. Dom and Ray, or I'm sorry, Ray and Dom and his backpack had a tag team championship match. And then on SmackDown, you had the NXT tribute show. Basically, all the stars from NXT pretty much going out having some banger matches. And yeah, how are we feeling about the way Triple H is running the shows now?
Bro, Papa H knows what the fuck he's doing. He's taking care of his kids and giving us what we want. Ciampa becoming number one contender for Bobby Lashley.
Yep.
Holy fuck. Name a universe you thought that would happen in.
No, not at all.
Exactly. And like the match he had with Styles was great. And that's Styles who has plenty of business in this history in the business, like taking care of Ciampa and being like, you know what? He deserves a shot. Give it to him. Bringing back people who we didn't even expect to see on SmackDown. Literally rumblings, and then he appeared. Or I'm sorry, they appeared. But no, I am loving the Triple H era right now.
Yeah, I've been saying for the longest time, like we don't need to be spending so much time on filler. Like it's already long enough. So like a lot of this stuff was real silly. Like I remember when they first brought out the whole 24/7 title thing, and I met Mick Foley around the same time that it happened, and we were talking to him about it, and he was like, you know what? The right person will make it work. And it turns out he was right because the right person was R-Truth. But even after that, 50 championship reigns of that later, it just doesn't matter. So hopefully we're getting rid of that and a lot of the nonsense that was going on. But this is what it's supposed to be. This is how you get people invested. And you're seeing more talent that haven't gotten enough TV time getting spotlighted, which is important because Triple H was doing that great in NXT, and now we're gonna get that going forward. So, yeah, Raw was dope, SmackDown was dope, NXT was dope. Just a couple of the things that we saw. First and foremost, Raw. You already mentioned the match that Ciampa has with Lashley coming up this week after he won the triple threat and beat AJ Styles in the same night. But also, as mentioned before, Dom and his backpack showed up to challenge the Usos for the Undisputed Championships, and Edge showed up. That ended with Edge misfiring and hitting Ray's boy out here. And we went off the air, with Ray coming back and tending to his son, the worst father of the year, still running. But yeah, I it wasn't what I was expecting to come, but I don't know. I feel like maybe we planting some seeds here, trying trying to get some beef going between Edge and the Mysterio fam?
I don't necessarily see that. I mean, Rhea blatantly just pushed Dom in front of
Yeah,
that, which good for her.
yeah,
And if Ray was smart, and I hate this is one of the things like I do still hate is like people act like you can't just go back and watch the show. Go on Twitter, you'll see it. Ray's been tagged in it probably 18 times. Like,
yep.
Edge didn't legit mean to spear your son and then run off and chase Finn. I'm just hoping this leads to, as much as it will not happen, Edge and the Mysterios versus Finn, Damian, and Rhea. I'm not asking for a lot. I mean, imagine the match. Rhea versus Edge,
I,
moneymaker.
I'm not gonna be mad at it.
It will
I
never
honestly,
happen.
at like last week, I was thinking that maybe they were trying to get Aaliyah in because we still haven't seen nothing about the fact that Rhea just went in there and just palmed her shit in the face before she went and dragged Dom out the back. Like, I mean, Aaliyah a grown woman too, so I would want smoke if you did that to me, especially in front of my mom and everything.
Yeah, can't be disrespecting in front of my family.
Yeah,
But uh, I mean, I don't think she even like really has a desire to wrestle.
that's a
So
that's cool. Ain't mad at it.
mm,
I don't think she wants smoke with Rhea like that anyway, though, because yeah,
that's
that's a
that's a powerful woman.
that's a problem. That's a problem and a half.
Yep.
Um, Also, jumping over to NXT real quick. Uh, it took I don't know how long, but finally, Katana Chance and Kayden Carter won the NXT Tag Team Championships. I don't know why we had to go around in circles to get to this point because Toxic Attraction didn't need a second run, and you put it on Roxy and Cora just for them to split up because Cora wanted to turn heel. Like that was really stupid. But I don't know. I guess it doesn't matter how we got here now that we finally just got here.
This is all we have wanted. Anyone who has been watching NXT for at least the past 2 years, uh, Kayden and Katana have been the, if not one of the only women's tag teams for the longest time. And when those titles were announced, don't immediately put them on them. That's fine, whatever. But they definitely should be toxic. Like, I don't remember what the like pay-per-view was or the special, but they definitely should have won and they didn't, and everyone was pissed because like, why the fuck are you still gonna have Toxic win? They don't need to. And then to finally give their comeuppance and have Toxic be the final team in that fatal four-way. It
Yeah,
just good. I'm glad you're recognizing that that's your staple for the women's tag division right now. You don't got a lot of them, but that's your staple. So big shout out.
I said it for the longest time. That's the best. At the time, they were the best tag team for the women that you had in general,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, I just was sitting them on off of some throwaway matches for no reason, losing to the people
Yep.
that they shouldn't be losing to. So, like I said, I don't know why it took so long to get here, but I'm glad that we finally here because
Finally.
it's been well deserved for a minute. I don't have this on my notes, but I had to point it out too. JD McDonald's. I I wasn't initially feeling it, but I don't know. Something about it is doing it for me. Like he got that that real like calm, menacing vibe to him. You know, old Shane off of Jimmy Neutron head ass. He's he's doing it for me. I don't know. Maybe I'm just souring on Braun because you know there was a peak period for him, and we've said on the show before he should have just went up to main roster after a certain point in time, like after the Dolph thing, after
Mm-hmm.
that feud, send him up because you're running the risk of him just deflating, and I think that's where we're at right now. We're in the deflation period, and now it's like anybody that comes up at this point looks viable to me because I'm not feeling this no more. But yeah, no,
Mhm.
that whole contract signing or summit, whatever they was calling it, and my guy signing contracts in blood. But I don't know. I'm feeling a little bit.
I don't know. I think also I don't know why people when he like came on NXT, people really realized how big his fucking head is. I wasn't even thinking about that at all. When Jordan Devlin was on TV, God, like 2 years ago for NXT or something,
Yeah.
I wasn't even thinking about that. I was like, oh, Irish Ace, cool. Mini Finn Balor, fuck yeah. But now I think his head just grew. It had to have. Funko head looking ass. Like it he really does. I don't get it. And I like I'm souring on Braun a little bit, but I also don't really like JD McDonald's.
I don't know. I mean, he's a damn good wrestler, and uh,
Oh, that's no question.
the thing
But
was, it was mainly like I said before, that promo that he cut when he was coming from the crowd, stuff like that. Initially, I thought that was going to be garbage. Like I'm like, get this shit out of here. But then I don't know, something about it just made me say, you know what? Put the remote down. Let me watch this. And it got me for a minute because he's just going around just picking random people and just saying some sideways shit to him as he's walking by. Like, okay, I'm not mad at this at all. I can dig this. Plus, Braun got the the promo chops of his ancestors, which some is good, some is not so good. He doesn't quite have the same special sauce that Scott does, but he's trying. He's trying. He's
well,
loud like him.
Scott was his own entity. You can't replicate that, duplicate that in any way, shape, or form.
Oh
But
man.
Braun does what he can. I'm just waiting for Solo to move up to the spot and take the belt from him. That's what we need.
Yeah, I've been saying that we missed a golden opportunity at Great American Bash in my eyes because that's
Mm-hmm.
all I wanted. Once Melo got North American titles back, I said, listen, let's run Great American Bash from what was it 2 years ago again, and do that
Yeah.
because I don't see a better talent on that roster right now that has a bigger upside than Melo does. Like that dude is him, and
Yeah.
I don't know how you can question it at this point. So you need to give him everything and real quick.
Literally. Make him double champ. I don't care. I hate double champions, but anything for Carmelo Hayes.
All right, we've been suffering through a double champion for about 4 months now.
I don't
And
even count Roman. Like he doesn't do anything with these fucking belts. I need those separated tomorrow. Like I'm sick of this because you can't have Drew win at Clash of the Castle and take both. No, I don't like that.
yeah, I think there's something that they could do with that, which I'll get to once we get to that to SmackDown. But I think there's something that they could do with that. Also, Tony D stock is down 10%, and it's a damn shame for y'all, but it's a great day for me because Santos, we back up, baby. Let y'all know what's going on.
No.
So see, Tony D thought that I was going to acquire this family and I was going to bring a tag team and just sit them off to the side and not utilize them in a tag team championship match. Nah, let me just take my little homie over here and we'll go compete for the titles. Santos said, we ain't doing all that. Came up, made sure he looked him in the eyes before he caught him with that right hand with the knucks. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Stock is down 10%.
Disrespectful. Stop. Disrespectful.
I might catch some hell for that, but it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, you will.
I ain't worried about it.
The disrespect to Tony D'Angelo.
Listen, my penance is up. I did what I had to do. I'm back to shitting
And
on.
listen, and you were barely doing that. Like you were real slim with it. And
I don't know
TC
what you're
called
talking
you
about.
out on your shit a lot of the time. You're like, you're doing it, but you're not you're not like Vince when he was a Sheamus stan. You're not living it as much as you should have been.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You're a hater. It's fun.
Hey, listen, y'all know I'm Team Santos anyway. I need them to go all in with my guy because y'all saw it. We all saw it. I think it was Stand and Deliver or one of the last PLEs that they had where Santos was in that I think it was a 6-man match, and we saw the crowd go off for this man. So I came on here and I said it, like, that could be that next, big Latino superstar they were trying to get in to be the next, like, Eddie, essentially, that they failed with Del Rio and they didn't give Andrade a chance to be like that's what you have here. So I need y'all to go all in with it. It's a damn shame for y'all that Tony D got to be the one he gonna step over to get there. But listen, the result is all that matters to me. I'm not worried about the rest.
I mean, I guess we'll see what happens on Tuesday. Keep thinking it's Wednesday. Tuesday, because they have their final face-to-face, so we'll see what the hell actually happens. I just want a War Games match between them. That's what I want.
Oh yeah, that's gotta happen.
It has to. Tony just has to get one more Italian. Just bring on Vinci. Like, I don't know why that hasn't happened yet.
That would make sense. Yeah, it does. It definitely does. But yeah, no, we can't have West Side Story without, one big ass brawl. And it makes sense to do that in the cage. So yeah, we need to set that up ASAP.
Mm-hmm.
And that street fight or Falls Count Anywhere match between Sikoa and White Khali. I don't even remember his name at this point because I don't care. I just want him off my TV. Solo did his thing. That was banging. I don't want to see this dude on my TV no more. And let's get Solo doing something, a little more meaningful, because I don't know. I feel like this was a punishment. He must have did somebody wrong to be stuck in this bullshit program, because why are we wasting this man's talents like that? Unless we're just going to move him up to main roster sooner than expected, which is a possibility, I guess.
Yeah, but I don't want him up on main roster yet. He's got to stay in NXT a little bit longer, because during the Street Fight Falls Count Anywhere, whatever we're calling it, there was an interaction with Mello, which could finally lead to Solo versus Mello for the NA title, which would be a banger of a fucking match. But I don't know what Solo did to be stuck with Dino Dan, Priest, and Paul. I don't know what the fuck he did, but Solo really just thrives in these street fight type matches. Him and Boa was incredible. And Boa's been off TV for a minute, but like,
oh man, where the hell did Boa go?
I don't know. He got beat and then pieced.
Jesus, that's crazy as hell.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. The only, if you pair Solo up with Mello, the only reason I would be okay with that is if we're going to move Mello up to the NXT World Title and do what's right.
Yeah.
Now, if that's the case, I'm fine. Otherwise, I don't want to see it yet, because you don't need to be taking titles off of this man. You need to be putting them on him and let him keep them for a long time. I need that.
Like, if it does lead to Solo and Mello, it has, and Solo wins because he should. It's gotta have to go to Mello and Braun, because I guarantee McDonald's ain't gonna win. It's gotta have to leave to Mello and Braun.
Yeah, it's probably not. And that's the sad thing too, is that I don't want to predict this, but I feel that it's coming. By the time we get to Braun versus Mello, they're probably all going to turn on Braun. And it's sad because, like I said, he came in with a lot of intrigue, and the reception was real hot. Like, he was doing good. And it's not his fault, but like I said, we missed an opportunity to just say, you know what, shoot him up to main roster, because we saw him on Raw. He got a great reception. Yeah. And especially now that Triple H is running the show, it's like he'll get treated properly, he'll get booked right. But we missed the boat, and now we're at a point where it's like Melo is just doing this.
Mm-hmm.
So by the time we get to that match between the two of them, it's going to be like, oh, Melo's basically going to be the face and Braun's going to be the heel just off of the reaction.
Yeah.
But that's not what they're going for. But I don't know.
I guess we'll see.
Oh yeah. And as I mentioned already before, SmackDown was the NXT tribute show, and it started. uh, Ricochet won a match on TV. Let's
Yes,
start
he
there.
did. Yes, he did.
Yeah, Pat was up here running film study as the show was coming on, and bad bum ass Corbin was a little bit tight, so he just found the smallest dude he could find and said, "Hey, let's throw the hands," and it happened to be Ricochet, and Ricochet won.
Yeah.
So I mean, this is the whole show from start to finish. Shinsuke got another championship opportunity, beat Kaiser again.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that's going to be a banger. Like him and Gunther, if they give it time. I think, is it going to be on SmackDown or is it going to be on Clash of Castle?
See, it should be on Clash of the Castle, but no. The IC title doesn't get to be on the
Yeah,
pay-per-views, the PLEs. No, it's on SmackDown next week.
I'm not okay with that. I'm not
I'm
okay
not
with
either.
that.
That's some bullshit.
Like, best thing you can do there is put it on last, have it close out the show. But still, I've been on this gripe about it. Like 2 years running, we haven't seen the IC title on a pay per view PLE at
Yeah.
all. The last time we saw it was Mania 37, where Big E defended against Apollo. It hasn't been
Yeah.
on since then. So we gotta fix this soon, especially because the whole idea of putting the IC title on a guy like Gunther is you're going to make sure it gets spotlighted more because that's the type of talent that he is. So if you're
Exactly.
going to put the title on him, then you got to elevate it again. Like you saw on Raw, they made this whole presentation by JBL about the U.S. title and the prestige and
Yeah.
everything like that. Y'all don't do that for the IC title. Like what is the beef with the IC title? I don't understand that.
I don't either. Like, it really just has been disrespected for the longest time. For no goddamn reason either.
It's crazy. Like they didn't do nothing to deserve this at all.
No, not at all.
And y'all have had so many good talent that have had the championship in that same amount of time, but it's just like, nah, just leave them off TV. Like
Yeah.
Apollo's whole repackaging, I think, just got derailed in the process of him winning the title because you put the title on him and it was good. We were starting to trend upward a
Yeah.
little bit, and then you just took him off TV. And Shinsuke, every time he gets a championship, he goes on vacation. Like that's what that basically is for him. You give him
Yeah.
a title because you don't want to use him. That's not the way it's supposed to. I've been on my tangents about that, but it's like, damn, man, yeah, y'all can't keep doing this to me.
No.
Give the IC title a slot on a premium live event. That's all I need.
Give the IC title a chance. It's like, give Divas a chance. Fucking however many years ago. It's the same fucking thing at this point. Give the IC title a goddamn chance. Not on SmackDown. On
Yeah,
the pay-per-views. I hate calling them premium live events. They're still pay-per-views to me, damn it.
yeah, yeah. I mean, truthfully, but now I'll start the hashtag. I'll do it. I'm
Okay.
invest. I'm invested. This is personal for me. But yeah, elsewhere on the show, uh, we this is how you know they're listening to the fans because a lot of women haven't been getting used on SmackDown, and so they came out this week and put all the women in a match, a good running match to determine the number one contender for the SmackDown Women's Championship.
Mhm.
Matter of fact, before I get there, so I think Becky is really a prophet, low key, because Becky said something back in January that now seems like it was meant, like she was just speaking on some real mystic shit.
Yeah.
Because Becky cut this promo on Raw after the match she had with Liv at day one, where she said, even if Liv had won, you would have found a reason to put her down after you supported her. Well, here we are on SmackDown, and Liv just defended the SmackDown Women's title against Ronda Rousey. Now, obviously, we know it was covered in some controversy because technically she tapped out, but the ref didn't see.
Yeah.
And Kayla comes out to interview her in the ring, and the fans just start shredding her about it, talking about you tapped out, booing. Becky hit on the point. She's just dead on the money. Y'all really don't know what y'all want, man. Y'all don't know what y'all want. And that's kind of disgusting.
These fans are fucking fickle. Like, and they have been for a long ass fucking time. Like, don't boo someone you have been championing to be a champion for the better part of a year. No, don't fucking pull that shit. Even Liv was like, yeah, you guys called me out of my shit and like said shit, even though they believed it. She's like, you're calling me out of my shit. Thank you. I know I tapped. And she gave good reasoning. She said, I thought the ref was already at 3, so I tapped. It logically, if you're in that situation, it makes sense. So fuck these stupid fucking fickle fans for booing her, trying to be like, you tapped out, and then chanting her name during the gauntlet. Like, y'all can't have it both ways. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, it's terrible. Yeah, I need the new Daniel Bryan back, like ASAP, because he was so dead on the money.
Yeah.
But the big takeaway from this, which made me happy, is the winner was Shayna Baszler, continuing the NXT tribute section of SmackDown this week. Because I was here, what was it, 3 weeks ago? And I said, I'm about ready to give up hope about Shayna Baszler getting her proper due in this company. Now, mind you, this was before Vince resigned, Triple H took over for creative, all that started happening. But I was at my wit's end about it because I was so aggravated. And within 1 week, everything done changed because in all likelihood, she could go to Clash at the Castle and she could beat Liv. And this could be the start of something really, really beautiful. So I need whoever's got the finger on the pulse of this, which we know who it is. I need y'all to just squeeze that trigger real quick. And reality is, I know a lot of people might get mad if Liv were to lose. Don't be, because a lot of talent's first title reigns don't always go the best. I mean, look at Edge's first title reign when he cashed in on Cena.
Yeah.
That only lasted a couple weeks. Look at where he's at now. So I think it would be okay to have that brief period of time and, let that build up a little bit. You can heat her back up and you can get her back to where she was when she was challenging Becky, because, at the end of the day, I wasn't the biggest fan of that finish at SummerSlam, but you can't have her reasonably beat Ronda, so you kind of stuck in a bit of a spot here.
Yeah.
Plus,
it's almost like Ronda shouldn't have been in the match in the first place. Crazy.
I mean, look, I didn't care for Ronda being in that match or on TV, period. I'm just thankful that it didn't get changed into a triple threat, because then I would have had to skip the whole match in general.
Yeah, we would have had a problem.
Because the house show circuit was showing a match with someone else involved that I wasn't here for. And she was in this match on Friday that I was not here for as well. I just want to live in a world where this woman stays off of my TV. Why is that so hard to ask?
You know that's not going to happen. TC's conspiracy theory is 1,000% right. You know she's not going anywhere, bro.
But see, he's not there anymore. He's gone.
She's probably got dirt on everybody.
Well,
with how long she's been around, yeah. She probably got Vince to like spill some secrets. Who knows?
Yeah. See, you playing into this conspiracy too now. This is not good.
I mean, listen, I'm usually not for it, but the shit he was saying, it was making a little too much sense sometimes.
I don't know. I need to not see her there anymore. Not that she's
It's like,
bad to look at. I don't like seeing her on my wrestling.
oh, we know how you
Just
feel about looking at her.
I I just don't like seeing her on my wrestling. I just prefer her not to be there. That's all.
I was like, you're just not saying her name.
Oh no, no. I've reached that point. I don't even want to give it that much energy.
Goddamn.
Um. So yeah, Shayna, go all in, make it happen. I did like that they had that Raquel had a good showing, and she pretty much held it down the whole match by the time she got in there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like the fact that Xia Li was in and out in just a few minutes. That was some bullshit. Like,
You're telling me? Are you kidding? I was pissed. Like, what the fuck is this? You're gonna use all your women, excluding Lacey Evans, because ain't nobody give a fuck about her.
no.
That was Vince's golden goose. She's gonna be out the door probably real soon. How are you not gonna give Xia Li the proper time she deserves? That's one of the best stars you have, and you give her 2 minutes at most. I am appalled. I am ashamed. I am disappointed, but not surprised because they hate Xia Li for some reason.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not a big fan of that. Like,
Mm-mm.
everyone else got a decent amount of time. Shotzi got a decent amount of time. Xia Li was kind of just like, I'm here, grand opening, grand closing, and
Some shit. Shit.
I'm not cool with that. We need to like
Mm-mm.
need to get some more respect on these talents out here, and
Yes.
stop making Raquel smile so much. The shit that drives me insane, and I said this about Ronda too. It's like you don't bring someone up and spotlight them as being something in the opposite of what got them to where they were.
Yeah.
Raquel came into this. She debuted in NXT as kind of like a Diesel to Dakota Kai's Shawn Michaels. Like,
Mm-hmm.
she was the big bad, scowling, heater pretty much. And from there, she just transitioned into being a star on her own. But it wasn't about her smiling and posing, waving and shit like that. It's like she was mean. And same thing with Ronda. Like, Ronda was a bitch in UFC. Like, let's just call it what it is. She was
Yeah.
scowling, mean, shit talking bitch. And then you brought her into WWE and you had her smiling, waving, and all this other bullshit. Like, that stopped at SummerSlam, hopefully for good, but still, like, we got to stop doing that. Now that Triple H is running the show, I just want to put that request out there. I got a long list of requests and shit that I want to see that's deep at this point, but that's pretty high up there because I'm tired of this.
Yeah, like I don't see a single good thing about like Raquel coming out smiling and no, just make her that badass strong woman that she is. And I still think in my fantasy world, her and Rhea being a tag team would be cherry on top because that's your two biggest women on the roster because Branslow isn't real. And something that you'll probably bring up in a second, it would make sense as to why I would want these two together.
Yeah, yeah. We can jump right into that. So, breaking news during that show was that they announced starting tomorrow night will be that tournament, that long forgotten lost tournament to crown new women's tag team champions. So now that we've created some more depth, that Triple H's been going out bringing some talent back in, and we get people back from injuries and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
We have a little more room to work with in the women's tag division, and this kind of further confirms that Sasha and Naomi are coming back because I think, listen, if nothing else, this gives you the opportunity to kind of bring up some old tropes. Like when CM Punk won the championship in Chicago and left
Mm-hmm.
with the belt, but then they had a tournament to crown a new champion. Cena won it, and CM Punk shows up and says, "Hey, by the way, signed a new deal. I got the real belts. Y'all got to face me." So
Yeah.
That's what you can do here. You could have this tournament, you know, whoever wins it, then Sasha and Naomi come back. I think that's a lot of people that sit up there on their edges on their TV watching Raw and SmackDown to see when they're going to show up. Just wait for the conclusion of the tournament because I think that's the best option. You, whoever wins it at the end of it, Sasha and Naomi say, "Oh, hold up, we never lost these titles. We back. So now you got to face us." And now whoever that winds up being that they face is going to be probably a dope ass match. So
Yeah, I mean, looking at the women that they have on the roster right now, you can get some pretty good tag teams out of it. I mean, probably Io and Dakota, because Bailey's probably gonna be like the single star.
yeah,
It's more than likely gonna be Bliss and Asuka because they've been tagging together.
yeah,
Double D and Nikki because they've been tagging for months. And like that's just on Raw. SmackDown, on the other hand, you could probably try and put a few together just randomly, but having Sasha and Naomi come back after the tournament is concluded, like you're saying, that would be the best thing. Because then that gives people a reason to be invested in not just the women again, but the women's tag division again. Because ever since Sasha and Naomi left, they ain't given a flying fuck about that women's division
no,
or the titles. They didn't care. They said tournament soon. And that was how long ago?
had to be at least a month
At least.
because when was it? They left right before Hell in a Cell because that's where they were supposed to. They were both supposed to have a title match. Naomi was supposed to face Bianca. Sasha was
Mm-hmm.
supposed to face Ronda, and they walked out right before uh, the Raw that was like leading into that a few weeks prior.
Mm-hmm.
So it's probably been about 2 months now.
Yeah. So 2 months ago, your tag champs walk out the door because they don't like how they're being treated, which rightfully so. And then you're like, oh yeah, there's gonna be a tournament eventually. And then you make people think that you completely forgot about it. And then just be like, hey guys, just kidding, we didn't forget. Only because they probably did extend that olive branch to Sasha and Naomi. More than likely will be coming back. So I'm intrigued to see how they do this. If Papa H can do this right.
Yeah, yeah, I got faith in my guy. He's doing his shit. He's doing his shit. Um, and continuing on the NXT tribute show, I I agree because Matt brought this up on Friday, and I agree with him. I don't want to see Viking Raiders in squash matches.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I know the tag team depth is a little bit thin, but like you got Garza and Humberto out there that you're not using. You could
Mm-hmm.
scrape something together and have a team that's actually legitimate face them and
Mm-hmm.
take a loss or something like that. I don't want to see some enhancement talent in there with them because we've been down this road already. You built them up doing that before, so it's like okay, so now they're heels and you're making them try to look strong, but you don't have to reset completely like that. It doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, like we don't need to see this again. We know they're strong. That's what got him right in the first place. So, and that's another thing. Like, it's not that like the tag division for the men and the women is non-existent on the main roster. Basically, you have a total of like maybe 4 tag teams for the men. That's about it. Like, because Xavier's out again for a little bit at least.
Yep,
Who knows what the fuck's going on with Garza and Carrillo? You have the Usos, obviously, as your champs. Viking Raiders,
yep,
Dom in his backpack.
yeah. Street Profits.
Street Profits, and then Judgment Day, if you count them, like Finn and Damien.
Yeah, it's probably more, but they're not. Oh, Alpha Academy.
See, I forgot about them.
Yeah. Well, as I'm saying, like there's probably more, but it's like we don't see them enough. So how can you really start counting them like that?
Yeah, I keep seeing people on Twitter saying Sammy's gonna turn babyface and Kevin's gonna come out and be his tag partner, which that's a great addition to the tag division. Kevin and Sammy, fuck yeah. I've seen people saying Miz turns on Ciampa tomorrow and Gargano returns now that Papa H is in his NXT run again. So then we get DIY Part 3. That's two strong ass tag teams for your division if you do it.
I like the way you're thinking right now. I like the way you're
Oh,
thinking a lot.
that's not even me. I can't even take credit. That is people I see on Twitter. But I'm just gonna take their idea. So,
Nah, that's good shit. I need all of that. Now,
mm-hmm.
I'm because I am like, especially because Triple H is running the show. I'm hyped to see a lot of the people that he pushed heavily on NXT get their due here on the main roster. Like Kevin Owens has been
Mm-hmm.
underutilized for too long, and the
Yes.
fact that we don't even speak enough on him main events in WrestleMania this year with Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah.
Like, this is who we're talking about. And you gave him some bullshit program with Elias, Ezekiel, whatever his name is, and now we haven't seen him since then. Like, you don't got to put a world title on him, but heat him back up to where he was, what, 5 years ago, 4 years ago, when he
Yeah.
was that dude. I need that back.
Yeah. And now, and with people saying Triple H should stop bringing people back, I can agree and I can disagree. I don't want him to bring every single person that got fucking released back, but if it's like Io and Dakota, Io's contract was whatever, but Dakota was literally gone.
Yeah.
And he brought her back.
Yep.
And someone else. But if you bring back Johnny too, then that's like 3 people. That's not everybody. So people who are complaining about that can fucking relax. Because it's not gonna be everybody. He's not Thanos. He doesn't have his fucking gauntlet. It's only gonna be 3 people for right now. As of right now, 3 stones. Maybe if Johnny comes back. That's 3.
Listen, if it's only 5 or 6, y'all couldn't say shit anyway because AEW signs trash off the street that didn't even get 5 minutes on WWE. So I don't want to hear nothing from y'all. Like as much as I show love to Still I Rise, they only had like 30 minutes in NXT and they signed them. So I don't want to hear nothing from y'all.
No, listen. I don't want Never Rise in AEW either. They can go somewhere else.
Still I Rise.
Never Rise.
Always. Always.
Never.
And so to segue into this, the biggest splash of the week, in my eyes, our tribal chief came out here to and basically hype up the match with Drew McIntyre at Clash at the Castle.
Mm-hmm.
Got interrupted by Drew, calling him the tribal queef. Yeah, we getting the TV 14 real soon.
Oh yeah.
And as he's walking down to the ring, we heard a familiar sound. And I personally, as soon as I heard that, I popped because we all heard that he might be coming back. How we talked about he was a big fan of Triple H. He loved working with him, and he's very open to coming back. But it was all just like speculation. Maybe it'll happen. It's possible. It's more possible now than it was before. But I mean, just that fast, he's already back. He's clearly in the main event scene right now. He attacks Drew McIntyre, whoops his ass. Charlotte drops the hourglass in front of Roman Reigns. And now we have this is what I was saying before, right? Where they can do something with this because you don't necessarily have to completely dethrone Roman, but if you can separate the titles a little bit, you can make a whole separate program. Let's say Drew wins the WWE title from Roman. He reigns the Universal Champion. He stays on SmackDown, but now you have a program that you could have Drew versus Cross or Drew versus whoever. But you created a lot of different possibilities. So yeah, no, that was the big one for me. Cross and Scarlett being back this early. Listen, Triple H got an A+ for the week. SmackDown was my show of the week. Like they did the damn thing. I was happy about this.
I was like coming home from work and like I was looking on Twitter and I saw rumblings of like Karrion Kross might be back. Scarlett, like I didn't really see Scarlett's name anywhere. It was just Kross. And it was like that day I saw that shit. And I was like trying to work on my computer and everything. And like I had SmackDown behind me and I heard that. I turned around and said, "What the fuck?" out loud to myself because I was like, there's no fucking way. Lo and behold,
Yeah.
Scarlett's silhouette, it literally changed to black and white. Kross looking like Triple H from the early 2000s in the leather jacket comes out, beats the hell out of like what? He has a bat phone. He has to. There's no way that happened that fucking fast.
Yeah, no, apparently the deals with Cross, Scarlett, and Dakota Kai happened very fast. Like it wasn't a oh we'll see what happens process. No, no, it's hey, you good to go? You under anybody else's contract? All right, cool. Come in, sign it, and we'll get you on TV this week.
Fucking
It was just that fast.
crazy. That's insanity.
Yeah,
But I also hope that Scarlett wrestles
yeah.
because the women's division needs something else, especially for
SmackDown.
SmackDown.
Yeah,
So if we can get that too, that'd be great. I'm more excited for her than Kross. I'm sorry, but like that's what I want. I want Scarlett in the ring because we didn't see it. I don't think really at all in NXT,
no,
if at all.
no, we didn't. But nah, like SmackDown absolutely needs it. I've been saying it for a while. Their women's division is so lopsided.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Scarlet Wrestling adds another dimension, even though like the aesthetic of her and that entrance is what really does it.
Mm-hmm.
I think it just you can do so much if you put her in the ring. Um, I was just hyped to see that you know we got back what we remember fondly, not what Vince took this dude as and decided to turn him into a gimp on public TV. Like I wasn't with that at all. Like this is what we wanted to see. Um, yeah, Triple H got his foot on the gas. He ain't playing. I love it.
No. Now I'm genuinely excited for Raw and SmackDown like every week now. Just to see what's next.
Hell
Who's
yeah.
coming back now? It's a fun game and it genuinely makes me excited because yeah, Raw's 3 hours long. It kind of drags. This week, smooth. I didn't even realize it was 3 hours long.
Yeah.
It also did help the fact that the first hour was commercial free. Like that
Right.
did definitely fucking help. But like you said, there wasn't filler. There wasn't 24/7 bullshit. It was just matches and promos and interviews. And it was just normal shit. And
Yeah.
SmackDown was the same way. So I'm very excited to see what happens in the future.
And and like the thing about it too, like I'm not talking like interview segments or um like promos in the ring, stuff like that. Like I wouldn't mind an occasional Miss TV. I don't need
Yeah.
it every single week. I don't need, dumb shit with people that you're not using backstage and just goofy shit for no reason or like just something like that. I don't need that on TV. But
Mm-hmm.
it's like you just keep it lessened,
To a
moderation,
minimum.
moderation.
Yeah.
Because like you said, it didn't feel like it was 3 hours because it was just straight wrestling the entire time. It was match after match after match, and it just kept the show moving. So
Mm-hmm.
that's how it needs to be.
Yep.
Before we close it out, what are some things that you want to see now that Triple H is clearly doing his shit with this? Like now that we kind of, it feels like for the first time we actually do have a voice because they're
Yeah.
listening to what we've been saying. So, what's some things that you would like to see going forward?
I mean, well, I got basically one of them is more a bigger spotlight on the women. You literally have the female version of the Shield and Bailey, Io, and Dakota running roughshod on Raw, getting involved in every women's segment, basically the entirety of the show. So I'm very happy with that. Even on SmackDown, using all your women in that gauntlet match, even though some weren't used properly, but
Yeah,
you had them all on TV. So that was one thing I've wanted from the jump. And Triple H cared about it in NXT, cared about his women's division. Look at it now, he still does. So that was one, like I was promoting before. I want these more tag teams, just for the men specifically at this point, because we're running low on them. Um, Again, I'll say it until I'm blue in the face because I won't get it. I want intergender stuff, for the love of God. You have the women who can do it. Rhea, Charlotte, as much as I hate her, if she when she comes back, you can have her go against the men. You know damn well she would.
Yeah.
Bianca, like anybody, just give it to me, for the love of God. If Candace comes back with Johnny,
Oh man, a lot of people don't know
like
Candace is an OG.
literally PWG intergender all day, every day. That was Candice LeRae.
Yep.
She literally got super kicked in the face with fucking thumbtacks on a shoe and still won the match by herself because her tag partner does not exist. Like, that's a strong fucking woman who you saw in the first women's war games match. It was her and Rhea holding shit down because Dakota turned on Tegan.
Yep.
So it was those two holding shit down. That's what I want. That's my main thing. I want it in AEW. I want it in WWE because, oh, men shouldn't hit women. Well, in real life, yeah, don't fucking hit a woman. But if it's a scripted soap opera,
Right.
I please, because I know damn well the women can kick their ass too.
Yeah, exactly. That's
That's
true.
all I want.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that. Definitely need to think a little more outside the box, and I think they're at least trying to go for something, that is more uh is a different approach. Like
Mm-hmm.
one of the stories that came out this week was that Triple H is talking about we want to shift more towards pro wrestling than sports entertainment, and that's the goal. That should be. I mean, yeah, I know it's publicly traded company. You've got stockholders, but listen, the product doesn't need to change that drastically. Just gear it more towards what made it work for you guys, what worked best. For me, I this is gonna be funny because we know how we feel about this topic, but I want a proper brand split. I want a proper draft. I want symmetry.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that this is gonna break Matt Ritter's heart because he's a broken man when it comes to this. Um, but no, I think that even though I made my case, there was no real brand split that was enforced at all. But at
Yeah.
least get it back to where it was, somewhat stable. You had consistently people being on one show for a while, so that you only really saw them there.
Yeah.
Keep it that way. And that's kind of going back to the point about the women on SmackDown. It's like you need to shuffle some things up. You need to get the depth a little bit better. And
Mm-hmm.
with the tag teams, like we need to shuffle around and get some people where they need to be. I want that. I want
Yeah.
these gimmick pay-per-views out of here. PLEs, whatever. I'm sick and tired of, well, Hell in a Cell is this month's pay-per-view. Money in the Bank is this month's pay-per-view. No. Give us the unique PLEs back, like Unforgiven, No Mercy, and uh, like shit like that. Great American
Judgment
Bash,
Day.
Judgment Day. I mean, that might be kind of tough now, but uh,
Change her name. It's fine. Give us back Judgment
yeah,
Day.
yeah, like give us that, like Armageddon. Give us that back, and sprinkle some gimmick matches in between. Get that back going again. That's just a couple things I got, but I have a long list. But like stuff like that it made it so simplistic. Like we got Pyro back, which took forever, but
Yeah.
that and the stages that goes with like the titles and stuff like that. But stages, the uniqueness of it, I need that back.
Bring back the fist for SmackDown.
Oh yeah, I need to. At least if you're gonna do another anniversary episode, don't y'all ever do another anniversary episode and give us that graphic on the screen and disrespect us like that ever again. I don't ever want to see that because
It was
that was
pure,
rude.
it was pure disrespectful.
Yeah, I had I
Uh,
had a beef.
and something I saw, I don't know how true this is because the internet's the internet. I did see something that there could be another draft in like September, October. Now, will it lead to a legit brand split?
I don't know.
We'll hope. We'll hope for the best. We'll be optimistic. We'll be a little optimistic for that. But I don't know how true it is. I saw it from like two separate sources, so maybe if more come out, then I'll believe it. But that would make things so much easier. You'll get the evenness back again. Because you can't have all of the possible challengers for Roman's title on Raw, like
Right.
Seth, Bobby take title off of them, like Kevin Owens. Like the list is outrageous on Raw. SmackDown, you have Drew and Sheamus. That's
That's it.
that's about it.
Yeah, that's not cool. And that's another reason why, like I said again,
Yeah.
we need to get some more symmetry because you have no main event stars outside of Roman on SmackDown regularly.
Mhm.
And like, listen, there is Drew, there is Sheamus, but who else? Like, that's it. You haven't
Yeah.
built anyone else up. So it's like you got all those guys on Raw. And I get it. 3 hours is a long time. You need more people, but you can cut down a little bit more. I mean, you have talent that you haven't even been using on Raw. Give them some time as opposed to, keeping all those big names over there.
Yeah. Well, I guess now we should say the Cross could be in that category for SmackDown.
Yeah.
Be when he comes back, if he comes back. He's out of the neck brace. He's
Yeah.
moving. He's moving around a little bit, but that's probably still going to be a very long time. Maybe Rumble.
Yeah.
Hoping for Rumble
Possibly.
because that'd be
Possibly.
fucking awesome.
Listen, I'm more hyped than ever for this year's Rumble because if we're signing people back, then like anybody could show up in January. We know Cody's gonna be back in the Rumble.
Yeah.
So like this Rumble could be one of the best ever coming up in January.
Oh, it's gonna be fantastic. But real quick, the Cody thing. People are still expecting him back. Raw is in Pittsburgh in like the end of August. Tell me why the match still advertises Cody versus Seth
Really?
and Bianca versus Becky.
Yeah,
That
it's
one
like
makes a little more sense because that just happened on
yeah,
Raw. Cody's been out for like a month, 2 months already,
yeah,
possibly longer. Change the fucking card.
yeah. They slacking. That's not cool.
Like the fuck's going on here? He's not going to be back. If he's going to be back, I'll be genuinely shocked and surprised when I go. He's not going to be back though. So what the fuck are we doing?
Yeah, y'all gotta get on your job, man. That's a bad look for real.
Yeah.
Oh man. Anything else you got before we close out?
No. Good job, Mr. Showstopper over here.
I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I hope we held it down for my guy well. But of course, plug your socials. Tell people about your 50 million shows and where they can find you.
50 million. You can follow me on Twitter at KatieRowson13. The link to about the Gal Thing She Elite Showcase, twitch.tv/She Elite Showcase. Thursday, 6 p.m. Eastern, youtube.com/She Elite Showcase. I always watch videos because they're way more entertaining. Anchor, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, if you'd like to listen. When this drops, the latest Inside the Mind of with Tim King from the Wrestling Index will be out. She leads up and the crowd's on a hiatus because I don't know what the fuck I'm doing with that show. I was on the latest episode of Smack and Raw. This I like podcasting, okay? I like being on shows.
Hey,
Leave me
listen.
alone.
Hey, listen. There's no shame. There's no shame. We got nothing but respect for you doing 50 million shows a week. It's a great thing. It's a great thing. I call you the hardest working woman in wrestling podcast for a reason. It's not a joke.
I actually hit 2 years in like 3 days.
Look at that. See, I know what I'm talking about. I'm an advocate for a reason.
Yeah.
Y'all can find me at RickHavoc24 on Instagram and on Twitter. You can check out the Havoc Hour on all streaming platforms where you find Young Kings Wrestling. I talk sports and entertainment. Miss Katie Kinsey Bay Bay has been on the show. My guy TC, Matt, they're my sit on my panel. And, I've had a few other guests on as well. But all the content is up now. Go check that out. Check out the Instagram _ the Havoc Hour _. And of course, you can find, as I said before, Young Kings Wrestling on all streaming platforms, as well as Instagram, even though they are some hoes. Instagram and on Twitter at YK Wrestling. Get your merch, your Black Lives Matter inspired gear. Do you have the links for the Pro Wrestling Pro
Oh,
Choice?
yeah, Pro Wrestling Pro Choice. If you go to my Teespring or the Linktree, the Pro Wrestling Pro Choice shirts, all the proceeds from my link go to Planned Parenthood. All of the proceeds from Matt's link at Matt Ritter, MATTRDDER, that will take you to his Teespring, whatever they have on Creation World, Women's Reproductive Rights Assistance Project.
No doubt. Yeah, all good for the charitable causes. Our NWO inspired Black Lives Matter tees get donated into funds that go directly to families affected by racial injustice. We don't deal with BLM directly because they own some shady shit.
Yeah.
Anyway, I want to thank the wonderful Miss Katie Kinsey Bebe for stopping by. I've been your host, Ric Ziegler. This week, I'm working on one for next week already. But this has been Young Kings Wrestling, and we out of here. Gone.
Oh.